Choose your way. Be life-driven.
Oh yeah, what up, world? It's another beautiful day. And it's time to be life-driven and get your weekly dose of highly potent magnificence. I'm your host, the Aha Man himself, DJ Quest Coast. I got my wonderful cast and crew with me, Oya Thomas, Doug Williams, and Chris Angelo Word. What's up, y'all?
What's up?
Yeah, back in the saddle, back in the saddle. You know what?
Everybody wore out.
We need a... I hate to say this, and I don't want to say this, you know, and I don't mean this to say that we need, you know, to take lives or anything like that. We need a really good earthquake here in California. We need to shake it up a little bit. Yeah, to shake out the suckers, man. It's too much traffic. It's too many people. Yeah. And you know, when that earthquake come, you know, we can get rid of the suckers. Yeah, I mean, all the people.
They run back east.
Yeah, they gonna whoever came out here.
Suckers.
Yeah, whoever came out here on some BS gonna leave. So we need, you know, I mean. It brings property value. Now you have to learn to sometimes appreciate what a natural disaster brings to the city. You know what I'm saying? The property value goes down. Be the best time to buy a house. Yeah. We weed out all the suckers. Yeah. We need it, man. We can get some grants out here.
Grants come out.
Yeah, we need it. I'm not saying I don't want to see anybody die or anything like that, but we need a good shakeup, man. We haven't had one in a while.
And it needs to happen about 3:30 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, when nobody's out, nobody gets hurt, you know.
No, not for that reason. If it happened like 3:30 a.m. in the morning, you know, all the women you know will call you. Oh, I'm scared. Please come over. Please come over.
You know, obviously it was some coochie at the end of it with Chris. With some coochie involved. But for me,
I'm just saying.
We know you just saying.
It happened before. You know.
Yeah.
The '94 earthquake was good for me.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
That's all I got to say.
And I mean that in a Christian way. You know, we just need to shake it up a little bit. A couple of splits out here, man, because it took me an hour and 30 minutes to get here this morning from Long Beach. It should never take. If you drive an hour and 30 minutes in Alabama, you done damn near going from the southern part to the northern part. You damn near out the whole state. It should never take you an hour and 30 minutes within a city. To get anywhere.
Doug, you one of my best friends, but it take about 15 seconds to drive through Alabama.
Well,
yeah, without a doubt.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm small.
That's what I'm saying. You don't need no earthquake there, but you need one here. We need to open up some freeways and some lanes here. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start off with.
I thought you was coming off a good weekend. Where was you at this weekend?
I came off a good weekend. Yeah, work. You know, I mean, it's good. It's good. I don't have no complaint. I was disappointed in the Oscars. I'm not gonna lie.
You're disappointed?
You watched that on the cruise?
You know, it was hard to watch. I mean, what they have one little piece for us with Common and the Glory song. Was that it?
One piece.
One piece. Yeah, it was one note and everything else was Lily White, wasn't it? I mean, it was like Pleasantville.
Actually, I think they paid most of all the black actors to come and sit in the audience. I never saw that many.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, well, they tried to make up for. They wanted to try. That's the illusion they wanted to give out. Like, hey, we ain't give out nobody no Oscars, but we got y'all here. You know what I mean?
They let you sit up close to the stage.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's really sad what's going on in Hollywood, though, man. It's nothing black or Hispanic, man. I mean, you know, no television shows, and nobody's saying anything. I mean, Oprah, nobody is coming forth.
She got her own network.
She ain't gotta say nothing.
She's supposed to, you know, produce it or something, right?
Yeah, but you know, I mean, come on, man. I mean, you got to say something. I mean, we there's nothing going. There's no work here. I mean, the case in point, that's why I'm having to go out of town every week to make some money. There's no work here. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you the last time I've been on an audition, man. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I mean, would you like to play the help? You know, because that's what they got us.
Well, that's the only thing that's working. If you black, you got to be cleaning up. You know, a slave. All the what's that? Django, slave, cowboy. The butler.
Come on, come with it.
The help. 12 years a slave.
I'm just
slave.
saying,
I mean, that's all. And now they talking about. Actually, I did get my agent did call me. This is true. Call me about a new show that's coming out, a new pilot that they're doing called Lewis and Clark. And
that's the beginning of the niggas.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And they want me to play a slave in that. So I mean, I got the audition right here. I'm gonna turn it down. I'm not going in because I just don't feel like I should have to go out and play a slave. And they want a big classic slave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They want a big dude.
They want Mandingo.
Yeah, Mandingo. I don't
Mandingo.
fit that category. The description of the role says must be huge, big, dark skinned, and able to swim.
So, what was your agent?
I got one of those categories. I can swim,
Lewis and
but
Clark,
that's about
that
it.
was at the beginning of the slave. You wouldn't even be able to do research to find out what a slave is.
But this is the type of television that they're putting out. They want. I mean, that's what they're looking for in
I guess they
in
wanna
this
tell the story
century.
now. They want to tell the story now. Are they gonna own up to this and say sorry at least?
Nah, man.
No?
They want this dude to be subservient. I'm supposed to be working for one of the main dudes, talking about, asking him when I'm gonna get my freedom. I mean, this is ridiculous. How are you supposed to work in this town?
You light skinned. What you gonna
I
be
was
like?
working. Haven't you been doing some plays, or you had a play?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is I create a lot of the things that I do that I just want to create. So it's, but I do have my sister and my brethren. There, those actors and actresses that definitely express that there aren't as many roles clearly for them to go out on, and sometimes they have dry spells that say others don't. It's really interesting. Yesterday, before the Oscars came on, I read this article, and I just the Huffington Post put out that the Oscars so white that if Common and John Legend win an Academy Award for Best Original Song this Sunday, it will be only the 32nd time in 87 years that a black person has held a competitive Oscar on Hollywood's biggest stage. Chris Rock says it's a white industry, just as NBA is a black industry. I'm not even saying it's a bad thing. It just is.
It just is. Just what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely a white industry.
I actually went out on an audition on Saturday for AT&T, so But audition don't mean nothing.
You ain't gonna get no Oscar for that though, baby.
You ain't gonna get no Oscar.
They ain't gonna give you
I
no
got my
accolades
fingers
for
and
that,
toes
brother.
crossed till I
They
get
might
the
not
job.
give you no residual.
I
for
need
that.
a call, John. I need
It
a
might
call
be a
back.
one-time check. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but it's all good. I had a great weekend. I DJ I did 4-5 parties. It was just nonstop, just all day. It was going.
Good for you.
So somebody, and they gave me a tip. So that's an accolade. That was my Oscar for the weekend. They gave me a nice Benjamin at the end of it. Here, just take that for the role. I'm like,
Not just a Benjamin.
Well, they got to pay. They got to pay like they weigh now. Hold it now.
Benjamins, not just a Benjamin.
Benjamin is a good tip, though. I mean, you can't be mad
It's a great tip.
Yeah,
It's a great tip. You can't be really mad at that.
Yeah.
So look, man, we got to show some love to John Legend and our brother Common, because the record is banging. Right. Glory, the record is hot. You can't knock it. They should have won the award, and they're getting the accolades.
They didn't win? I thought they won.
No, they won.
No, they should win everything. I mean, Selma wasn't nominated, right? So that's a whole nother thing. Movies, whatever. But I'm gonna get into the record. Common, John Legend. Is called Glory, because one day, y'all. Here we go.
When the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, glory. Oh, glory, glory.
Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, his spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When it go down, we woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots, we on the ground, the camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, glory. Oh.
every man, woman, and child. Even Jesus got his crown in front of a crowd. They march with the torch, we gon' run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark roads, heroes, to become a hero. Facing the League of Justice, his power was the people. Enemy is lethal, a king became regal. Saw the face of Jim Crow under a bald ego. The biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We sing, our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in the dream we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history. No one can win a war individually. It take the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory. The coming of the Lord, my eyes have seen the glory.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory. When the war is won, when it's all said and done, we'll cry glory. Oh, glory.
Yeah, we back. That was Glory by Common and John Legend. Record was really cool. I love that record right there. You can't really be mad at
And
that.
that is a duo for you. Oh man, John Legend and Common.
It made,
give me that soul feel,
sense
you know?
for them to be singing it last night because when we went through at the Oscars, I mean, we should have had a couple more people up there singing Swing Low and all those classic Negro songs.
Well, they talk about my hometown, so I love the song.
Yeah.
You know, Ferguson.
Yep. Ferguson,
That's
huh?
why
Yeah.
we walk the streets of Ferguson.
Yeah, you said
There
it
you
last
go,
week,
Doug.
though.
There you go.
He wasn't talking about Ferguson
got
before.
Ferguson
Yeah, he's big
on
time
blast.
Ferguson now.
He was talking about St. Louis.
As soon as they put it on the map, he claimed it. As soon as he saw it in the headline, that's where I'm from. I'm from there.
And all that.
Yeah.
You know, look at it.
Ain't that what we do?
ain't ish. I tell
I
you.
want to talk about. Are we getting ready to go into the video of the?
You got to pull it up.
and
You got the video pulled up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ariana Huffington, HuffingtonPost.com. I love that publication. Actually, do some real,
Yeah, it's
real
good-
stories.
it's
You know
good
what I'm saying?
stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
It's across the board. Good. It's for everybody, rather. But they have a brief history of the diversity at the Oscars, and it just
Or lack
shows
thereof.
or lack thereof, right? And it just shows like who won. The black folks who won, what roles they won for, because Denzel could have won for Malcolm X,
Yeah.
but he
He
won
got
for,
robbed that year.
but he won
Robert.
for being Lonzo, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
he was the ruthless cop, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, Halle Berry won for what? Monster Ball?
She won for being a Hulk.
Yeah, so Monique won for being a horrible
being a
person
thug.
on the thing. So
He got a hole.
these are facts. We're not
And a
really
bad
shooting
mama.
at nobody, but these are the facts. So we're going to pull up this video and see what Huffington put together. It's a great narrative. And we'll come back and talk about it.
Only Sidney Poitier won for being a good person, right?
Yeah, but that was in the, I don't know, that was a great thing. Sidney's a legend, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But that was how many years ago? Woo! Come
Yeah,
on.
man. They were gonna make Let's Do It Again too, but Bill Cosby messed that up.
There would've been a lot of black roles in there.
I know.
Come on. Hey, you know what I want to say since you brought up Bill? I got to give a shout out to Eddie Murphy because Saturday Night Live wanted him to come in and play Bill and do a parody. And he was like,
He's
not
not
going
gonna
to
kick a man
happen.
when he's
Not
down.
going to
That's
do
what
it.
he
Not going to
said.
kick a man when he's down.
That's
So
good. I
shouts out
respect that too, man.
to Mr. Murphy.
You see that other dude jump right in there. That's the
Oh, yeah.
problem. As
You
soon as
talking about
said no,
Kennedy?
so, yeah, another black dude. I'll do it.
I'll be the
I'll
Negro.
do
Make
it.
my face white, man.
I'll
No,
do
I'm
it.
messing with you.
I actually shouldn't say this, but I'm going to go and talk about it
Oh,
anyway.
shit. Here we
But no, Doug said that they were going to do Let's Do It Again.
Let's do it again. Too.
I had a private conversation with Denzel.
Okay.
D, you know.
Oh,
D.
with D.
I called him D.
You called call him D. Okay.
Yeah, and he said Will Smith and him was actually working on something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might happen.
Yeah, it may happen.
Like I said, Bill Cosby ain't gonna be in it. I can tell you that.
Chris says, I had a private conversation.
Oh, with D.
With
you
D.
know.
Yeah, but
No,
notice it's a private conversation, but now we're on air worldwide.
I said I shouldn't leak it. I said I shouldn't leak it. I said I shouldn't leak it.
I won't be telling Chris any of my
Chris Snowden. Don't tell Chris Snowden any of your
He's
business.
the brokest name dropping this person you know. He hobnobbing with all these
You know what I'm
people.
saying?
But
Sit
you
at the
ask him about $5, he'll start stuttering.
He'll start stuttering on you. You crazy for that, man. We got that video ready?
The video?
All right, we're going to go into this video. We'll be right back. Be Life Driven Radio.
Y'all watch
RMC on air.
Here we go.
Here we go.
The Oscars. A night full of glamour, tears, and with some luck, a tolerable joke or two.
Having some of the Academy over for dinner. Care to join me?
But aside from all the glitz and glam, this year's 87th Academy Awards is poised to be remembered as the worst year for diversity at the Oscars since 1998.
Fighter, this is as good as it gets.
Here's some info you should know. Winners and nominees of the prestigious award are determined by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences.
So I want to thank the Academy.
To the Academy.
The Academy for this, all 6,000 members.
These members, each representing various categories and voting for the respective nominees in their field. Actors voting for actors, directors for directors, and so forth. The Academy has garnered a reputation for being a body of mostly white, mostly male, and mostly old voters who mostly support nominations for certain types of films. Films focused on primarily white male protagonists. And while most of these films absolutely have social and cultural merit, they're only telling limited types of stories from limited perspectives. In the 87 years since the Academy Awards were established, few African Americans have taken home the Oscar.
We have like 4 black nominees tonight. So great. It's kind of like the Deaf Oscar Jam tonight.
Of 2,947 of the Oscars awarded, 31 have gone to black winners. For the Best Actor category, only 7% of the winners have been black men. This includes Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Jamie Foxx, and Forrest Whitaker.
Thank you. Thank you.
Denzel's win marked nearly 40 years since a black man was last awarded the Oscar.
40 years I've been chasing Sidney. They finally give it to me. What they do? They give it to him the same night. I'll always be chasing you, Sidney. I'll always be following in your footsteps. There's nothing I would rather do, so.
Halle Berry's win for her performance in 2002's Monsters Ball marked the first, and so far only, black woman to have ever won the Best Actress award.
So much bigger than me. This moment is for every nameless, faceless woman of color that now has a chance because the door tonight has been opened.
Many of the performances that did score Oscar wins for actors of color were for portraying roles that fulfilled stereotypes limited to working class and often abused characters, primarily told through the lens of white directors and filmmakers.
I'd like to write something from the point of view of the help.
We as black people have been celebrated more for when we are subservient, when we are not being leaders or kings or being in the center of our own narrative driving it forward.
Beyond the acting-based categories, diversity is lacking from the list of directors, cinematographers, and Best Picture winners too. No black person has ever won Best Director, despite fans and critics who had high hopes for Ava DuVernay and her breakout directorial work on Selma.
Selma shouldn't have been the only hope for places of color in this kind of celebration.
The film was only nominated for 2 awards this year, Best Picture and Original Song. In 2014, viewership for the Oscar ceremony clocked in at 43 million, making the award show a platform with the potential to massively influence the way we view culture and impact the way we view each other. Omitting black men and women depicted in roles of leadership and success.
What happens when a man stands up, says enough is enough?
Meeting black men and women depicted as vulnerable and complex, three-dimensional characters.
We have a movie with, characters in them instead of stereotypes wrapped in Christian dogma.
And meeting black narrators telling their own stories in the year of Black Lives Matter matters.
Hey.
How did you like that?
Yeah,
That was good.
It was very educational.
Yeah,
Right.
someone sent that to me last night, and I really enjoyed it. And I like her little voice too. You know, she's not being all super militant and mad. She's just coming in, giving you the facts. Here it is, and you
decide for
check it out.
yourself.
You decide for
you know?
yourself.
I mean, this process is so similar to that of the Grammys, and you know, it's just happening so often and so much. I was listening to Ebro in the morning, East Coast DJ, and he was interviewing Tiger and Chris Brown. They was talking about the process. Chris was talking about how he didn't really like the process, and I'm talking about the
Of how they
Grammys
vote
per
for
se.
the Grammys?
But Oscars, Grammys, kind of similar process. And so they were saying, well, should we, Ebro suggested, well, maybe we should be more a part of the process.
Well, see, but isn't it a little bit different how the Oscars is versus the Grammys? Because I'm a voting member, so we vote for peers.
Well, the Oscars are voting for their peers, directors for directors,
Isn't it the
actors for
exact
actors.
We just don't have any black people in there.
It's just no black people. It's all white men, you know?
Yeah, which is going to be a little bit different
y'all
from...
keep forgetting. They gave y'all the NAACP Emmy
Oh, if you don't
Awards.
knock it off, that doesn't suffice for anything.
Hey, enjoy what you get. Soul Train, you know.
Those
got
Negroes
Soul
got
Train.
fired. They got fired last year.
Awards, the neighborhood awards, that's what we going.
The Hoodie Awards.
Yeah, the Hoodie Awards. Yeah.
Shout out Steve Harvey.
No, they're not the Hoodie Awards anymore. They're the Neighborhood Awards.
That's what they are?
They're the Neighborhood Awards.
They got a little too big.
Because, you know, we had bigger corporate sponsors on board. You know, so
okay.
The
Wow.
neighborhood, you
I
guys in
didn't know
hoodies, that's not cool, you know. Trayvon threw that off.
God.
So it's just, you know, we got to have a conversation. I mean, this is why we're here at Be Life Driven Radio. I want to bring on to the conversation right now his brother Spence from Black Male Productions. He's doing some wonderful things in the community. Tell us about your event and what you got coming up.
Yeah, we have an event coming up on February 28th, which is this Saturday.
Yes.
We're going to be giving away 2 pairs of VIP tickets so you guys can attend. The name of the event is called Naked, and, you know, people hear that
already. Go ahead.
You got
my
Chris
attention.
already.
You got my attention.
So naked is actually an acronym. It means nothing about knowing ever disempowers. And what that means is that we need to get out there and get tested, because there's nothing disempowering about knowing your status. So come, join us, get tested for free. Know your status, people. It's so important. What Black Male Productions does is we create a platform for us to have discussions that we don't like to have as African Americans. And one of those things is how we're disproportionately affected by HIV and AIDS. But not just HIV and AIDS, but so many different diseases. If you look, the African Americans are disproportionately affected. And it's because we don't have the education to properly take care of ourselves and do the things that we need to do to prevent some of this stuff. And so we will continue to create these platforms so that we can have these conversations so that we can start doing better. Because when you know better, you do better.
Well, brother.
You've been on the show before.
I have been on the show.
Yeah, I
before.
remember you now.
Tell you.
Yeah, hey.
Well, brother.
Welcome back.
What's your name again, brother?
That's Spence.
Spencer.
Brother Spence, I got some questions for
Ask
you
away.
about
I got some answers.
about this naked.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me just get back into my post.
We just
I'll
wanna
let
know.
Doug just...
No, you know we got to. You know, I'm the voice of the people. I'm gonna ask you what people. I say what people really think. First of all, when you, how are you gonna conduct the test? And then I'll string out the rest of the questions. I mean, how is the HIV test conducted?
Well, we have 2 ways that we do it. We have the swab that you can do inside your mouth, or we have, if you want to do the blood.
Okay, now how effective are they? Are they both the same in terms of the effectiveness, or is one more effective than the other?
In terms of the effectiveness, the blood would be more effective, but they're both about the same.
So they're pretty accurate. I mean, if it comes back positive,
really
it's positive. Come back negative, negative.
Yes.
Now, all right, now that we got that out the way, let's lay some wood. Should someone come down?
Yes.
How long does it take for the results to come back? Do you tell them right there on the spot?
We tell them right there on the spot. We don't make you wait.
Okay, now if the test come back positive,
yes,
is it confidential at that point, or do you have to take down their name and information and turn it in to the city?
Well, there's 2 ways that you can do it. You can do it as confidential, or you can do it.
So you have a choice.
Yeah.
I think the city should know.
Right.
Or not.
Well, either way, we have to report.
Yeah, thank
So it ain't no other way.
So the secret's out.
Wait. Hold on. That doesn't make sense to me.
Hold up. Oh yeah, because I'm just getting started.
No, because I'm over here posting, but I'm listening.
Go ahead, talk, baby.
Yes.
Spencer, You said that you can do it openly or confidentially, but then you said either way you have to report it. Please
Either way, we
explain.
have to report the number. But we don't
Not
have
the person's
to report
name.
You don't have to report your name if that's something that you.
So it's not gonna say Doug Williams.
It's not gonna say.
It ain't gonna never say that. It ain't gonna never say that. It ain't gonna never say that because I'm with my wife. Unless my wife cheat on me.
Don't claim that.
Yeah, don't put that. Don't put that out there like that.
Not gonna happen.
But look here. So let me just make sure I understand this before I go into if anybody else want to jump in with a question,
Yes,
you can
sir.
jump in. Oh, he will got the naked stuff. All right, listen.
Why you call it naked?
Well, that's what
You
it
know
is.
why? Because sex sells, and that's what we pay attention
Yeah,
to.
Chris, it got your attention from the moment he
your
said
attention.
naked.
That's true, and in all honesty, I mean that's how you get it, right?
Never when it got your
You know,
attention
and
if
our
it said
thing,
clothes.
what we've been saying is, come get naked with us, and people are like, "Ooh, come get naked."
Well, I
with us.
like it because
You're
it's like
trying to trick
come
people.
get naked,
You're
come
trying
get
to
real,
trick-
you know.
you're
But
trying to trick
in
people.
all honesty, sex sells,
We're not
but this
trying
is
to
what the
trick
issue
people.
is too.
We're trying to lure people in, and it works.
Yeah. All right. Now let's just say somebody comes down. And we're gonna go to all these questions are gonna be skewed more
Yes,
towards
sir.
the positive as
Yes.
opposed to the negative because we know if you're negative, you leave. But if they come down and they test positive, are you saying that you then just give a number into the like 14 people? I mean, because why even do that? What does it matter if you turn in a number 14 people came down and tested positive if you're not going to trace these people and hold them accountable? Because my fear of that is if somebody comes down and tests positive and they say, hey, I just want to stay under the radar, and then they go back to their normal lifestyle, that's how this disease permeates the neighborhood.
Right.
So, I mean, there has to be a preventive measure put in. If somebody comes down and tests positive, you can't just let them leave and just say, okay, we got 15
And you're
people.
absolutely correct, and that's why we have counselors on the spot, so that if somebody does come down and they are positive, we can actually counsel them right on the spot and also resource them out to someone that can help them out. It's not a process where you come, you get tested, and you like, oh, I'm positive, now I get to go. No, we can't do that by law because we don't know which state of mind you're going to be in when you leave.
Do they have to take the counseling?
Well, yeah, they do.
They do?
Yeah, it's not optional. Like, we don't know what you're going to do with that information, and we don't want somebody to find out and, like this brother said, recklessly go out and then infect other people, because that's what some people in the community have done. Found out that they're positive, they get angry, and then they want to go infect other people.
This is true. Did you hear about
like
that story of this? It was the woman. She was beautiful. She was definitely a looker. Somebody you would double take at, Chris. And no, what happened was brother gave her AIDS, and she got mad at all men. And she went on a rampage and was having sex every day with anybody she can get her hands
that was
on.
leaving the black rose behind?
Well, I ain't that lucky, so.
I don't know about a black rose. I think this was somebody else.
There was one sister who got the
But there's stories like
HIV.
this is the
Yeah,
point.
there's tons of stories.
And she was very angry, and so that's what she did. She said sometimes she would go, 2, 3, whatever, whoever, and then she was just infecting because she
crazy.
wanted to get back at the male population for infecting her and
sad.
taking her life over.
So that's why I feel like,
crazy.
and that's why I'm bringing this to your attention,
Brother Spencer.
Brother Spencer, I gotta remember that, man. I'm slow today. But Brother Spencer, what I'm asking you is, because it's up to them whether they want to take a counsel. They can say, I don't want to take no counsel. I just want to go back to my regular life. Do you put a trace on them? Do you put a tab on them? Do you then try to find out who they immediately slept with? I mean, do you try to? I mean,
that's one of the questions that we ask because we
what type of screening goes in before? Like, is there some type of paperwork they have to fill out?
There's paperwork that they have to fill out, but also after you test positive, one of the questions that we ask you is there anybody that we need to contact for you, because that conversation can be really uncomfortable,
and it can go all kind of ways.
That should be in like 90 days that you have to tell. 90 days you would have to.
What happens is once you're reported to the CDC, anyways, what they're going to do is follow up with a call, because we have to.
But you said you don't. But you said you just give a number.
Yeah, you don't disclose it.
We don't disclose your name. We can't.
But
if
you give them the number.
They're gonna call a number. They're gonna call and say if this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And we can still check in with you, just to figure out if you need our assistance and telling people, because that's one of the hardest things.
Yeah, because you got to face it. You got to face it at a certain point.
So we want to know.
Tell us what the event is going to be again.
The event is going to be at Vintage Hollywood. That's 4000 Washington Boulevard. I like to do things like around the way and in the hood, because that brings in our people, and we're the ones that need to hear this.
That's what's
We're
up.
the ones that are disproportionately disproportionately affected, and our numbers are going up every day. And like I said, part of the reason for that is because we don't want to talk about it. And because why I came up with Naked is because this is the naked truth about HIV, where HIV has been so sensationalized. When we look at people like Magic Johnson, who looks amazing, by the way, and people say he's cured. He's not cured. I've been around Magic Johnson. He still takes the medication and everything, but the difference is Magic Johnson has enough money for insurance and medications that a lot of people don't have access to. So instead of showing images of people who are doing so good, I want to reflect on the naked truth about HIV, because the truth is HIV is still killing us. We make up almost 54% of all new cases.
Yeah, it's so much controversy around that. I mean,
but we're only 13% of.
Right. I mean, it's so much controversy because I've seen articles, and I don't know like the actual all of the facts on this, but it's tons of information on the internet right now, and you definitely have to watch what information you get from the internet based on sources and all these types of things. But it being created as a man-made disease, and it also being marketed like this is an African disease, and I have great problems with all that.
Here's my next question.
So many different things.
Here's my next question. It's a two-part question.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, when people test now, I mean, I'm kind of ignorant to this fact too, because you rarely hear now AIDS. You know, there was a time when you would get it and you could have full-blown AIDS, and you know people would die right in a matter of weeks or what have you. But now it seems that it's more HIV. So what happened? I mean, has the disease morphed now more into HIV as opposed to getting full-blown AIDS?
Well, the disease has always been HIV first. We started calling it AIDS, which is the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. That's when you go below 200 in your T cells. The T cells is what measures the amount of your immune system that is still left. And so in the early stages of HIV and AIDS, most people were getting AIDS because there were no medications around to suppress the virus itself. But now we have medications and we have treatment. So most people are HIV positive until they fall below the number of 200.
That's
then
the
you
first,
have AIDS.
First part. Now the second part of the question is the treatment, because you know I'm sure you're well aware that for years there has been a conspiracy that would suggest that there's a cure for this disease, but because they want to string you along to buy the medication and put you pretty much in a lifelong plan of paying for medication, that's the case. So my question to you is, do you believe there's a cure, and is there an organic way of treating this disease or an alternative way to taking the medication that's prescribed by doctors or the most popular medication?
All right, Doug, you're not too tired this morning now, brother.
Okay, first of all, let me give this disclaimer. I am not an HIV specialist. I am not a specialist in AIDS. What I am a specialist in is educating my people and getting them the information that they need to know so that they can ask these questions. So I love that you're asking these questions, because this is exactly why I do what I do, so that it creates a platform for this kind of discussion. Now, with that being said, I don't know whether this is man-made or not. I have my own theories about that, and we can go on and on and on talking about it. One of the things that there's a documentary on Left Eye Lopez, and the
Great
accident
documentary.
that she had, when she went over there and she was looking for a cure. She was told that there was a cure for HIV and AIDS. And as she got closer and more in depth in what her findings,
and you're saying this is just to bring people up to speed on this. This is in Honduras.
Yes,
if you've seen her, she was dealing with
Dr. Savy. Dr. Savy.
Right, who is what do you call him?
He's an herbalist.
Right, herbalist. Naturopathologist.
Naturopathologist
doctor, just to bring people up to speed on what you're talking about.
Yeah. And so, and thank you for that, because everybody doesn't know that. And so there have been reports that people have cured themselves from this. Now, I can't prove it because I haven't met those people. But there have been reports that people have cured themselves from this disease with natural herbs and medications, and they haven't used the stuff, because the medications for HIV, they're as much as they're saving your life, they're also putting a lot of toxins into the body. And that's why when you are HIV positive, one of the things that they have to do is check your liver and check your kidney function and make sure that you're not having high cholesterol or high blood pressure.
To be able to even process those drugs.
Those are the side effects that come with it that can kill you. And actually, when you look at people who are passing away from this illness, it's not AIDS that's killing them. It's all the side effects from having HIV that's killing them, because your body can only take so much. And so when the body's getting beat up like that and constantly taking in toxins and you're not doing anything to flush it out, which is the other important conversation to have. It's like people take the medicines and they're like, oh, I'm good now. No, you're not. Because now you got all these side effects.
Yeah, it's kind of like when people take chemotherapy and radiation and stuff. Chris, you have more information about that. And then if you're not taking care of yourself to bring up your immune system too, right?
Yeah, and there's a mindset that goes with it too, and that's why that's why we're trying to erase the stigma that's attached to HIV.
Absolutely.
Because when you start there and you get rid of that stigma, then people can openly and honestly talk about what it is that they have. The problem that we have, like I said, is it's all about communication and talking and coming out. Because if you have HIV, but you're afraid of what people are going to say when you come out about it, then you can't properly talk to someone about what you need to do to keep yourself living and living a healthy life. Because you still need to work out. You need to change your diet. You need to figure out what these side effects are and how you can counteract them. Things that you can do to boost your immune system. Like, there's so many other things that go along with being HIV positive, and that's why I call the event Naked, because I want to get down to the naked truth. When I hear naked, what it says to me is that we're dealing with the bare facts.
That's right.
We're dealing with the bare facts about this disease, and that's what we need to do.
And let me just say this. If you out there, if you go down to Naked and you test positive or you come away with the swab and you positive and you continue to go out there and sleep with people knowing that you're positive, you need to be hitting the head with a brick, because you are trying to harm other people. It's your responsibility when you find out that you are positive to make sure you take the proper steps to protect other people and preserve the community.
Without a doubt.
And
so I want
there
to thank
should be a crime
brother
for that,
Spencer
too.
for coming down and sharing the Naked event with us.
And Spencer's giving away 2 VIP tickets.
VIP tickets?
Call in 323-965-1600.
And if I can, before we go off, because I didn't shout her out last time, and she's amazing. Tina from Turn Up Productions, she's my PR person. She is absolutely amazing. She's getting the word out.
Shout out,
she's
Tina.
Making sure that people notice. And I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a singer that we have in our midst who came and performed at my last event, and she blew the socks off of everybody, because people were looking at this beautiful light-skinned sister like she ain't gonna be able to sing. She tore it down. My mom is still talking about you, and my mom is actually coming here on the 28th.
Tell them who the singer is. Don't be holding out.
Specifically to see you, and I'm like, Mom, she's
No, I'm in the Bay. I'm performing in the Bay this weekend.
I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him. It's Oya. Like, she
Oh,
killed.
in the house.
We didn't know.
And thank you so much for
that. Okay, now, okay.
You had a better chance giving them tickets away before you told what Naked meant, though.
Hey, so check it out. We're going to get into some more music. And coming up next, we got a very special guest who's in the house with us right now. We're going to get into some music, and we're going to come right back with Brother Jay from the X-Clan.
Yeah. But again, if you know somebody that wants to go, that needs to go, give us a call again, 323-965-1600. Our post on the Spirit of Oya page, or Be Life Driven, and let me know, and we'll get you those tickets.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome, man.
Exist in a state of vainglorious, as we are protected by the red, the black, and the green. Heed the words of the brother, Sissy.
Let us the words, word to phrase, to paragraph. Heed math as Jay begins class. Science of past is now brought to the rhyme face. From the scroll, straight to the verses. God to gods, from gods to man. Many kings, many leaders, a fist from a hand. They call me militant, now what does this mean? Do I carry a gun, submit the army scene? Will the cause will never pause, as simply as the brother. Raise the flag, wave the colors. Red, black, green with the key, the difference. Words make a way in the world in an instant. Living to die and I die to live again. 360 degrees. Comprehend, a man getting stronger till he's man no longer. Unearthly state makes the time seem shorter. Forever radiant, awareness, brought forth the one. open eye and stroke sun. Practicing preach, standing by what I teach, so you all stand starving as I start to unleash words of love. Brought from the Genesis will exist till Armageddon is a witness. The originals built the earth. Why must there be aggression to learn a basic lesson? Quite majestic, stern within reality. A juggernaut when you tamper with mentality. I wear a crown, extension and dimension of a brain cell, bringing hell to the sellouts. Forever tangled, web we weave, always trying to obtain, no attempt to achieve. Descendants of kings and queens act like jesters, never potential, quarter of the measure. Jealousy of what are we becomes tendency for their thievery. Alright, cool, but no need to pull the tool, cause that's a fool. I get my words sliced in my stool to produce the words that they drool about. It's another way of taking out these sissies who may try to extinct my principality, but of course they're not having madness. From beginning, I'm the end. Observe me. Ignorance is not a trend. So as I beckon for a few seconds, pull the reins and hear the words of the brother. Mastering words on the verse. Funk is a force I exert. Egyptian, African, now I'm on a black watch. Check my sundial, synchronize the clock. I can catch a shadow as the moon reflects the sun. Creator's eyes make a path to brother one. So now I walk softly and carry a big stick, a bird stick, so you natives sooner lick. Jay brings the funk and spreads jam to the wheat bread. And the funk of this one vanglorious, unearthly resistance, strong with persistence. Grand verbalizer kisses, tribal connection, pyramids witness the funk bearer. Vibe sharer, not the error. Brother is balanced like the scales of Thor. An even-minded man makes stone seem soft. Corrupts all systems, positive poison of me. Some call it ankh, it's a key. Black is a color while blackness, state of a mind state. But how many of you think? Today Brother Jay can find a better way, so be it. Plan it down and make it stay, I serve a purpose. Yet I'm not the G.I. Joe, I am the brother. Yo, I can never swear a face, so just hasten your step to the mic and stage areas. I drop the science that breaks the clock barrier. Words of old make me more than a beginner. The key opens knowledge and places in the tenor. American a man, African a brother. Don't forget the land, cause the birth is from the mother. A vibe is in place, obtained and discovered. Tune in your audio and hear the words of brother.
Quick after. One little quick line. Go in with this.
And you do know that. I'll be back on. All my headphones ain't plugged up. That's why I can't hear myself or whatnot.
I hear you.
That was to the east and backwards, you know, heed to the word of the brother.
That was good.
You already know. Before we get into it all already, I would like to set intentions on the show. So, Oya, could you center us in affirmation for this?
Yes, I can. We got a great show coming up. I'm so excited about our guests. So I have a simple affirmation, but it is so potent and powerful. I am of great worth.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. I am of great worth. I was inspired to do this affirmation because, I came off of doing my motivational talk on Wednesday for that big event, which was awesome. It was sold out, packed out, crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And then just speaking with a lot of people after the event, and then some other people this weekend that don't feel like they're worthy.
They don't feel like they're worthy.
They don't feel like they're worthy. They don't feel like they can accomplish what they want. And, I thought this was interesting as we're moving and talking to the culture and the nature of hip-hop and certain things that X-Clan and the people that we grew up with were talking about. It's like what you're putting out there is so important. Doug, tell me, when you think of self-worth, what do you think about, saying an affirmation like that, like, I am of great worth? What does that mean to you?
Well, basically what I've learned is that when you're incarcerated and you've been locked up for a long time and you get out and you try to blend in with society, you meet people and you have to build your self-esteem up to show them who you're worth, what you're capable of, and how long you want to do it.
What the fuck you talking
Where did the incarceration come from?
What to do with what we talking about?
What the? Look, you ever been to jail, man? You ain't never been to jail, man.
He's all in another place this morning.
I think we need to let him go take a nap and come back.
Somebody get him some green juice. We need to get him some caffeine or something. Wake him up a little bit.
Yeah, it means self-worth.
No, I'm just saying, based on, like I said, based on our topic today, as we're talking about the culture and nature of hip-hop, coming off of the people that I spoke to, and even with the Oscars, because, there's so many black people. I even talked to a known actor this weekend that was kind of like, we're talking about the worth of black people even in Hollywood.
Sound like you're looking for a boyfriend over there with worth. You trying to find out what people got in their bank account or something.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on in that corner over there.
What is going on
I'm sorry.
The word.
I instantly equated worth
Maybe
with
let me just move
incarceration.
from over
No, I'm
here.
sorry.
Yes.
Please help me, brother. I am of great worth in the understanding of what I'm talking about.
Right. Well, I mean, first you gotta. I think you gotta look at self and just understand, like, you know, the ancient proverb.
Oh, where are you going?
Yes, let's stay here.
You know what I'm saying? Know thyself. You gotta know thyself. You gotta dig deep into
Thank
self.
you.
Well, that's what I was trying to get a little.
I think you was going somewhere else, but
I was trying to
allude
allude to, you know, when people get locked up and incarcerated, they don't know their self-worth.
They don't know their self-worth,
They come
right?
out the way I.
But can I say something, like, all jokes aside, a lot of people are not even in prison and they locked up.
That's true. That's
So,
what I mean.
you know,
Thank you for having my back on
We need to get the happy one on that one. We need to get the happy one on that one. That was a good one.
That's what I meant.
No, but
I just came
it's
out.
real talk. I mean, they're mentally enslaved. Yes, I get it. You physically, there, but you
Right.
know, here
That's what I meant.
outside in this world, people
Thank
are out here and they don't know their worth.
Right.
So
I mean,
that's why
our minds could tell us some things that are like so far from the truth, not even happening, and you over here telling yourself all of this stuff, and then you start making moves based on what you're telling yourself. So
That's correct. And I heard so much this week of so many people that I was talking to that were like, I can't do this. I can't. And not understanding the worth. So now, Chris, we're going to try this again with you.
Well,
I am of great worth. Do you feel that about yourself? Do you know that? How do you feel about it?
as long as my bank account stays over 6 figures, I think I am really doing pretty good.
Great work. That's work. It's worth the work.
All right, all right. Well, let's turn to the grand verbalizing fucking lesson,
indeed.
Brother Jay himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know y'all brothers understand about intentions, affirmations, and speaking through your music. So when I work with people and talk about intentions and affirmations, and this is our affirmation for the week, I am of great worth, for people to say that, look at themselves in the mirror, say it in their cars, wherever. What do you think about this kind of work in this particular affirmation, I am of great worth?
Well, I agree with all the brothers here. You know, even the brother with the bank account. You gotta know your worth and, set your own platform and tier. You're a reflection of the Creator, so you gotta act like that at all times and all things. Mm-hmm. So it's all positive.
Did you introduce the brother? I mean, this is a very influential brother.
Yeah. Without a doubt, I'll reintroduce him.
Please. This brother is, we're happy to have this brother on the show. Yeah,
legendary artist, legendary for hip hop. He broke barriers early '90s. I can remember I was 5, in '90. I was 5, and I can remember To the Red, the Black, and the Green, sissies. And I mean I like that. I wanted to become a DJ. I wanted to become an MC based on brothers like yourself. You know what I'm saying? And the work you was putting down, and the fact that you did it with so much, they call it Afrocentricism or Afro. I may be tripping over the word or whatnot, but you always had an ankh with you. You always wore these colors. You always represented the culture with such high regard. And so to break Billboard with them type of records, that's powerful, brother. That's so powerful. So we're sitting right here with the grand verbalizing funkin' lesson, Brother Jay.
Peace.
Yeah.
What's up?
Of X-Clan, the Dark Sun Riders, and come on.
Respect.
Absolutely. And then also we got the brother Jasir, and we got a lot to talk about with you brothers, but first and foremost, we got Jasir and Brother Jay here because we're going to celebrate the Cultural Fest 2015 at Simply Wholesome, and it's this Saturday, February 28th, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Come out. Yes.
Is this a Black History event?
I mean, every day is a Black History event. I make Black History every day.
Especially
you know what I'm saying?
Below Wilshire, everything is Black History, right?
I thought it was the 10 freeway. I thought it was anything south of the 10 freeway.
He was being nice. I usually say below Pico. He said Wilshire. There's a few brothers that stay
we etching up.
Etching up, right?
When I first got here, I wouldn't go beyond the 10 freeway, or I wouldn't cross La Cienega.
But you was from Ferguson, though. What you mean?
When I got here, I landed
in
Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? So it took a little while.
It took a little while
for me to find out what was on this side of town.
So tell us about the festival, brothers, and what you guys have in store, and even why you brought it to Simply Wholesome,
Simply Wholesome was just Simply Wholesome.
Right.
It was a no-brainer. Basically, Simply Wholesome been in the community for at least about 30 years.
Easy.
Anybody that's from LA
Shouts
know
out
about
to Purcell
Simply
in
Wholesome.
April.
Yeah, do they still sell? I mean, because I used to, when I first moved to Los Angeles, I was going to say, they had the best bean pies. They still sell the bean pies?
I think they do.
Yeah, they got the bean pie. They got vegan cakes and all kind of stuff.
Get me a bean pie, man. That's great.
Go this weekend.
Yeah,
Come on.
You know what?
Saturday.
You can't even get them off the street like you used to. You used to just go in any
Oh, you
corner and get a
definitely
bean
can.
pie.
Sean King, brother, all day.
The brothers
He's
are there all
every
day. Shouts out to the
Bean
fruit.
pie and
They
the
out
paper. You
there.
get it all day.
See that?
Okay,
Still around.
that's the block I ain't going on.
Look, see?
See, you just don't know. They still on Crenshaw. I see them.
I mean, you can catch them from Compton, Long Beach, all the way back to the
I mean, it's not as
city.
easy though, because I went down a few weeks ago trying to get one, and somebody said take this corner, turn that corner, and I was like, man, I ain't got that much gas.
Just to get the bean pie.
They was trying to rob you.
So no, tell us about the Cultural Fest and the lineup, and you know.
Well, lineup is incredible.
Man.
It is.
We feel really blessed to even bring this to LA, man. It's going to be so phenomenal. You know, of course, you already got X-Clan, Brother Jay in the building.
Hey.
Right. And then you got Mad Lion coming through.
Mad Lion, take it easy.
You know what I mean? You got Medusa. We got the brother Sir Jinx coming through. Bless us with his set. But overall, this is something that LA's been really needing for a long time.
Absolutely.
And for Sister, again, I got to shout her out again. I can't thank her enough. April from Simply Wholesome.
Yes, absolutely.
She loved the idea. When me and Brother Jay met with her from day one, she been on board. But this is gonna be a blessed event, man, for the community.
Oh, okay,
Definitely.
cool.
Definitely want everybody to go out and check
I got to be there.
Absolutely.
And we add this, this should be the norm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for how commercial radio has kind of taken us backward. When your niece, 7 years old, is twerking like a stripper, to every song. When every song got something negative to kick. You got to kind of check it. So we wanted to throw a block party, just something simple, so where artists don't come prima donna, like they got to be paid $1 million to come and perform in front of the people that made you.
Right.
So
Right. Old school. I like it.
This is a real block party.
I respect
this. This is a real block party.
So
Bringing
was
that
the
Brooklyn
vibration.
vibe.
We don't want to make them think it's a concert on that level. People will be performing as we say.
Exactly.
But Battle Cat, cats like this, they haven't had the chance, Sir Jinx, they haven't had a chance to give back to the community.
Yeah.
And their music has been put on artists that don't have the same creativity as they have put out. Meaning if your content is not matching what the people really need, and you're just filling up your ego, you're taking the production backwards. So these cats come and get to spin in front of people that are wholesome, simply wholesome.
Simply wholesome.
I see it.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta love that right there, man.
Yeah, man. There's no lines, with artistry. Hip hop, people listen to X-Clan with MC Hammer, with NWA. Back in the days, we didn't have the barriers. I'm gangster, I'm conscious, I'm this, I'm that. We gotta go back to that.
It was just balance, right? It was just balance.
It was a balance.
It was
you know
balance.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Although we don't have any profanity at this concert, because I want all ages to come out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There's not too many parents who get to come out and show their kids what real hip hop is.
Absolutely.
Any of the elements. So we just wanted to have a whole organic kind of platform on this day to celebrate, and not a Black History thing, because I'm not caught up on that. I'm not caught up on Afro-centric thing. I was in the 90s against that. You know what I'm saying? It's indigenous. You know what I'm saying? Point blank.
Indigenous rhythms.
Hey, that's what's up.
So you just said something. Real hip hop.
Yes.
What is real hip hop?
Hip hop culture, meaning is from where it's rooted is dues paid and not ego satisfied. You feel me? That's real hip hop.
Not ego satisfied.
Correct. So I mean, hip hop is an ego craft. You talk about how bad you are, how dope you are on your block.
much money
You saying that's what it is now?
That's what the music part is. You know what I'm saying? But when you say culture is unity, we get together in the building, we dancing in harmony. We spinning the wheels in harmony. We spitting the flows in the spoken word in harmony. So, that's real hip hop culture. Hip hop music is a business. It is what it is. But it shouldn't.
So you have a differentiation of what you feel hip hop culture and hip hop music is.
It is. It has to. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't create our own category, somebody else will. Right. Why is Beyonce and Beck in the same category?
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Why is Prince and Usher in the same category? Is if you don't define it yourself. My elder Sonny Carson used to say, "We write the no." So if you don't write the no, somebody else will write it for you. And coming from a perspective of science and history, they've done that for thousands of years. At least with hip hop, let's cut it off.
So what do you think the difference is from the time when you were coming up and putting out the music and your peers to now?
I think that the audience was innocent. You know, it wasn't like, you know, plug into the Facebook and you a star. You know, there was earning involved. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, you know, you can be a star just clicking your watch and go to your website and you're an instant star. You get more than 1,000, 100,000 hits and you feel like, you know, a label's gonna pick you up. That mentality didn't exist then.
So it became more commercialized?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is based on the jingle. Everything is based on how much they feel you can sell a product or not. It's not based on that you're the champion of your neighborhood or your region. You know what I'm saying?
And you feel like that's what it was then when you were coming up, you know, because you guys, it was different with the labels then in comparison to now, but it's like, I don't know, is it just kind of like, you know, like how our parents and our grandparents talk about that was real music then, so like we're connected more to you than like maybe some of the hip hop artists of today because we grew up with that, like it's kind of nostalgic, like you said, you know, we were in elementary school like, oh, this is what, you know, so.
But one thing that we did have time, we had time to digest the character of an artist. It's oversaturated right now. It's like every 2 weeks, it's like 4 or 5 new artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At that time, you say De La Soul and Rakim, and you had them for a hot minute to learn who they were, to see them on the TV, see how hot the record was going to be, if it was going to fizzle down. You had time to see if that vinyl that you bought is going to be, you know, the thing for
you
the
had
hood.
time to process the person,
You know,
the
hip-hop
artist,
is
the
what's
music.
hip. Exactly.
So would you be equal to the Sugar Hill Gang, or would you be even before that?
No, he's after that, bro.
He's after
But
that.
yeah, I'm after. I was a baby of the bunch. You know what I'm saying? I came in 1990. You know, after Curtis Blows and Sugar Hills and stuff like that. I got to, you know, admire them.
Okay.
You know, but the way I learned Curtis Blow was, you know, as a musicologist. You know, he was he composed his music. He wasn't sampling like a lot of cats. So when people really go back and do their homework on just some of the artists that they had, because you got to remember, labels were funny with hip hop. You taking the sweet spot of your parents' record and you looping it,
right,
and putting some words on it. You really jacking somebody's hit.
Yeah.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? So
No
for
question.
people that were composing back then, you know, it was big for a label to sign them and give them that big budget and so on. But hip hop became such a phenomenon, you couldn't hate on someone that got 5 boroughs of people in New York City, which is equivalent of a couple 100,000 people buying a piece of vinyl that costs you $1 to make.
My question would be to you first and foremost. My wife is from the South Bronx, and you know, we go back to New York at least twice a year, and I've noticed in New York that, in my opinion, there's more of a camaraderie there with culture. It's more, you can feel the city more underneath you as opposed to here. It's more spread out.
Yes.
But my question to you would be, who do you see today that fits, you know, your description of where music is now, that reflects where you come from or reflects that era? I guess I'm asking a modern artist who has an old soul about them that reminds you of the era that you have come from. And I don't mean to put you on the spot.
It's not even on the spot. I mean, you really got to just comb through it. A Mos Def would represent, you know, something of that level. You know, the way that he puts forth an agenda to be addressed. You know, he's a little bit after, you know, where I was in the 90s. He's more like mid-90s and coming up. You know, he's from around my way too, Flatbush. So I saw him picking up a lot of the conscious side of what it was, the spoken word. The Roots have that kind of element to me. You know what I'm saying? Artists like that, Dead Prez, you know. I don't really know too much about Immortal Technique. I know he's positive and all, but, you know, Grassroots is a little different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all saying here, you know, NAACP is different from what you consider a Blackstone Rangers or even a Black Panthers. It's just different shades of the black.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So there's certain artists out here that are doing, I mean, no one really has gone under the radar with the indigenous look and the consistency that X-Clan has had. You know, I look at Public Enemy, you know, for them to be nominated hip-hop, I mean, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, not Hip Hop Hall of Fame.
Right.
You know, for them to go Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you got to say their name with Aerosmith and Rolling Stones.
That's true.
Hey. That's big, and we don't use that enough.
Right.
You know, that's an incredible crossover. That's not like singing on Bobby Brown's record and you crossing over.
Do you
that's taking one of those major trophies.
Do you feel like any of because one of the things I liked about the era that you came out of is that whenever somebody was new and they came on the scene, on the R&B scene, and or the rap scene or whatever, they would always pay homage to who came before them by doing a project with them. They would bring them on. I mean, people were known to do that with Run DMC. And you still have some artists that do that today. Do you feel like today's artists are doing that, or reaching back to some of the people who paved the way for them and trying to look out or bring them to the forefront? Because like you said, it's driven by popularity, by these YouTube hits. But I mean, cause even me, I'm guilty of this with Quest. I'll hear a song and he'll have to remind me, hey, such and such did this song or what have you. So my question would be, do you feel that's enough of that going on, man? Because a lot of the old groups are having a problem making a living. I bumped into Jot Lil about 2 weeks ago from Houdini.
Okay.
And he was just telling me how hard it is for them to get gigs and for how hard it is for them to work now with the new era of people that are, you know, the new crop of people that are out.
Well, there's two ways to address that. A lot of the artists from the back era are getting cut because nobody's sampling their music anymore. You know, when we were sampling, you know, all these bass lines and stuff, we weren't doing too much doctoring to them, but just adding a little drum pattern and some extra hi-hats or shaking a little bit. But now the pocket of music has totally changed.
It's true.
You know, you're doing the pogo stick in the club now, where you used to have a little George Jefferson step going down. So that's two different generations. A young artist doesn't need a Roy Ayers or a Shaka Khan anymore.
Wow.
Because now they become that. The computer tells you the note is off. Wow. This, that. So you don't even need them. Why would you go and want to buy them a new house or a boat or whatever?
Wow.
Right.
That's deep, man.
Thanks to Ableton.
Exactly.
Like that.
Well, if I'm a Kanye West and, you know, I'm the big man, you'll send me over your reel to reel and say, do what you like and pay me what you feel. Right. Where before it was, they were charging you. When I was in the era, homie, it was expensive. My album would cost, East Black was he was playing, that would cost me like $500,000 to do. And sampling, and sampling.
Wow.
So you imagine when you get a chance to push yourself all the way away from that, like, look, I'll just go in here and read this Macintosh book a little stronger and these little Logic audio programs, and I'll come up.
That's deep.
And that's real, because we skipped musicianship. We didn't go and learn how to play the notes. We were mixing. The turntables were our instrument.
Right.
It didn't become as deep as the saxophone and the trumpet and shit. So we lost to a degree. Wow. And it shows when we hear this new music nowadays, we totally lost, because they don't even acknowledge the DJ. You don't even see that. You see a box, an instant replay on stage, and somebody pressing a button behind an artist for 15, 20 minutes.
It's true. It's true. Now, I want to change subject just a little bit, because I see this copper piece in your hand, and brother, you got to talk about that, man. That looks amazing. Tell us the stones.
Is that, wait, hold on, let me see. Is that a Zestylite at the top?
These are several. No, this right here is a Brazilian quartz here, and these are two stones that I'm studying now. I forgot the name of them. I wrote them down this morning. It actually was a learning experience getting it, and I had never had the cloth around involved with the antenna like this. You know, I have one in New York like this.
Because you were known for a cane like that. I mean,
yeah, my staff was made by an elder named Bishop. He made probably about 4 of them before he passed. And myself and Brother Architect have 2 of them. There's a Nigerian brother who was in our first video. He had a collection of everything. Nyabingi. Over at Nevins Avenue in Brooklyn. People from Brooklyn will know Nyabingi. But he had collector's items from everywhere, and we would go there and just dig through his thing and find our little artifacts and go for ourselves. It wasn't even, this was before videos and music. You know, that was the sincerity of X-Clan. You know, we roll like this every day. Right. You know, you were going to breakfast playing ball, you know, our girl is holding this and crown like this or something like that. You know, that's how it was. It was indigenous all the time.
Yeah, that's what's up. So I want to get into a record off of Return to Mecca.
Oh, okay.
You know, I had a chance to tour with Damian Marley, and I fell for the Culture United record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that song was created when I first signed to Suburban Noise out here in California. Damian Marley took us out on 13 dates, and he was too young to know who we were. You know, but his brothers knew.
And look, and Chris was too old to know who you was.
Yeah, so
That's
his brother Stephen Marley did the beat for us, and we went down to the Lions Den in Florida.
Okay.
And Coach United is the name of my label brand, so we did a song to push that movement forward for conscious artistry.
Nice, that's what's up. So we're gonna get into the record right here. We'll be back with a little more with Brother Jay from X Clan and the crew. Here we go.
Here we go.
You are now tuned in to the conscious power. Culture Unite, Junior Gong, Grand Verb, Return from Mecca. Bless.
So East Coast, West Coast, down south, hip hop, dancehall, reggae, rude boy, jam rock.
We the messengers, no entertainers. Spark the map with roots and culture. Justice born, raise up your lighters. Spark it up for the ancestors. Spark it up for the freedom fighters that hold it down to protect the righteous. Spark it up for the activists who stand strong in the struggle to the beast is dust. Sing a song to a jig, man, tan. Sing a song to a jig for the man. You hop and skip through hoops for the man. So your ass before you feed your land. So many struggle with the temp of the bubble. Grow food turn double and a double turns trouble. So many fams just crumble to a humble and the hustle went wrong and the hoods lose muscle. Give thanks for roots and culture. A true and living soldier. Don't be that wanted poster. Zombie mind is fresh meat for the vulture. Walk like you're chosen. Selassie and Garvey. Walk like you're chosen. Like Grand Verb and Marley. Culture United, divided we fall. Culture United, we must stand tall. Culture United, freedom for all. Culture United, love over war.
Settle down now, Brother Jay. Watch it. So East Coast, West Coast, down south, hip hop, dancehall, reggae, rude boy, yeah, jam rock. Say this a music company, store it up. Your ears say that the struggle rough. Fire, tell them we turn it up. Same thing goes for foreign and abroad. You better burn it up. Trample Babylon and them pass. I tell them fi hurry up. Push something to the class. You see all the youths them living up. Get up, stand up, not giving up. Royal queen and kinging up. Wearing all a suit that a camouflage. That a X-Clan. That a tough gang. That a ghetto youth. And then you see all the youths that treading up. See them come go dreading up. Blaze and fire reading up. Lord, that a roots man. That a African revolution. That a rebel culture. And now the movement gets so massive and so large. Missy bus and truck and car and bunch a hole in a garage. Yeah, some still fight one another and some still can come together. Lord, and that a real bad yard.
Culture United, 12 jewels on the crown of the ones that bust the spit. Hammer time boy and it's straight legit, it's strictly roots and no counterfeit. This conscious living is not a myth, just free your mind and the rest is gift. Walk the rift and braid the cliffs, to the highest ground by blood is gift. Point in the sun where the earth reflects, manifest fertile and the rest is blessed. North to the south, from the east to the west, conscious power and there's no contest. 029 gotta be on time, all being born to the sound of the rhyme, all being schooled to the side of the time. Culture United, prophets of time.
West Coast, down south, hip hop, dancehall, reggae, rude boy, jam rock. East Coast, West Coast, down south, hip hop, dancehall, reggae, rude boy, jam rock.
Never left.
It's the Be Life Driven Show. DJ Quest Coast and the crew.
What's up?
Oya, Chris, Doug.
Hey.
That was Culture United, X Clan,
Yes,
off
sir.
the 2007 album Return to Mecca.
That's a great title, Return to Mecca.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta be careful with a title like that these days, though.
You gotta be careful. Why you gotta
Somebody
be
think you're a terrorist, or you part of ISIS.
You know what?
You gotta be careful. No, I mean,
I want to go to
Egypt.
Egypt. The Be Life Driven Show needs to like do a show live in Egypt.
We need to go. We need to go.
I'm not going nowhere right now. They cutting the heads off. I'm staying right here, man. This shit, let me just tell you something, man.
Tell me, Doug.
Have y'all been watching the news?
No.
You ain't been watching the news? How you live without watching the news, man?
Because it ain't nothing but death and destruction, man.
Well, you got to know where it is, so you won't run into it. Because you know you can walk right into death. But somebody gonna have to do something about ISIS, man. I mean, these motherfuckers, every week somebody losing a head. I mean, they ain't just killing. They cutting your whole head off, man.
Yeah.
That's barbaric. You understand what I'm saying?
According to Fox, you know.
No, they show the tape. They show the tape. It ain't like they say, hey, we cut his head off. They say, watch this. And they cut it off. I mean, this is barbaric, man. And what I don't like about it, here's what the reason I bring it up, man. They trying to blame everything on Obama, man.
Yeah.
Everything is Obama's fault. You know what I'm saying? Did you see recently, the white dude came out and said Obama didn't love America.
Oh, yeah, he's on there in his ass again.
Yeah, I mean, the former mayor of New York, what's his name? Giuliani. Yeah, Giuliani came out and said he don't. Let me tell you something, man. We got to support the president. We got to stand behind the president. In fact, do y'all have any songs where y'all supporting Obama? We need to. You got any lyrics that you drop?
You got to make sure you always say President Obama because that's one of the issues. They always calling him Obama. Yeah. You know.
Well, I said president. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. You say president. They like disrespecting the brother.
I give him the utmost respect.
Yeah, they like disrespecting our brother. I mean, you know, President Obama.
Jay-Z had some records talking about Obama. He was talking about sitting next to, Michelle and smelling like dank, and that's what he was talking about.
Smelling like what?
Sitting next to the.
He said dank. Stank herb.
Oh,
what is that? What is dank?
That's herb.
Herb, come on, man.
You talking about?
Remember, you said I'm too old, so I don't know.
They
all
calling
this,
weed dank. That's dank. Dank is weed now.
I mean, I guess that's a slang.
I just got used to Kush. Now we just switched over to dank. Goodness gracious.
I don't know. I'm just saying. You brought it up, so I told you.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
You think or whatever.
But what's going on with Brother Jay now? Like 2015. I know we got Cultural Fest coming up, but musically, we expect something new, or what's the latest and greatest?
Certainly, my new album is called Magnegro.
Ah,
I like that. Now, that's
Magnegro.
It sounds like something you would like, Doug.
It sounds like one of them black exploitation films. You know what I'm saying? With that Magnegro.
Born in the hood.
Yeah.
Get these brothers on the album.
Exactly. Please do.
Negro.
But yeah, we've been doing a lot of touring. I've been trying to give a lot of the hip hop legends work, the active ones.
Nice.
You know, certain people
That's
have
what I'm talking
retired.
about.
You know, their pen. So you know, the ones that still keep active. You know, like Kane, EPMD.
Right.
You know,
I love those guys.
What?
You
Love
know,
those guys.
You know, cats like that. You know, I'm trying to get them in rotation, and even some of the older artists that that still have the punch. You know, I'm not gonna put you in the ring and you ain't been hitting the bag in a minute.
Right. You can't be out of shape.
Hey, don't forget about Houdini, man. Them brothers is, some good brothers.
I'm surprised that Houdini is not working as much because I see them on a lot of grown folks parties, boat rides and stuff like that. Because they were.
I saw them on a boat ride.
Yeah, exactly. They're a mature group.
Boat ride? You mean a cruise? Come on, man.
Call it whatever you want to call it. It's a boat and some water.
He's making it sound like it's a little dinky.
Hey, well, I mean, I'm trying to be humble.
But I think that their music gets dated because it's so much information overload with the music. They forget the foundation. If they're gonna respect hip hop, R&B, those cats were the first.
Yeah, they definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Those cats were the first, so they always should be working. If you got a card with, the Kanye's or whoever, there should be a slot on there for them to perform, so that groove is not forgotten. And that's checking the promoters.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I know we spoke about it earlier. In the whole pocket of music is different, but could you see yourself, on a record with any of these new artists from the new school?
That's a good question.
I mean, content-wise is where they whack to me, homie. I mean, I don't have a problem performing with anyone. But new music, if it changes the pocket, whatever, I ride with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm triple tonguing on reggae, roots reggae. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, all this music is now is like Mantronics beats back in the days. It's just better quality of digital. It's nothing new, homie. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing new. These cats bite off listening to our records back in the days, flows that we just teased in. Sometimes the audience is not ready. You know what I'm saying? They might have been a style like Lil Wayne way back when, and it just wasn't time for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing new under the sun.
I mean, look at 2 Chainz. You know, he's been out for many years, and he didn't crack, really. He was there, but he didn't have those big records. And then
he had some anthems, though. The Duffel Boy was the business.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was like, that was when it was, that worked. That one did work. But like, he had been doing his thing before then, too.
Yeah, no doubt, because, I mean, he was buried in a label that had like 7 or 8 cats, you know. Right, Ludacris was at the top.
Right.
So he wasn't going to get no shine when he broke off. And
what do you think about that, though, man? Like, artists, you know, now you the big guy. You got a label. Now you want to start signing artists. But your ego, you said it's an ego kind of driven thing in the music, but like, why does that happen so often where, you know, you have this big artist, he has this great reach, and he can't crack an artist off?
Well, because they don't go through artist development anymore. Artist development, you know, you think about Motown, those cats were groomed in everything from the business to the production to whatever. They stopped that. That's why those big budgets don't come down anymore. You know, cats was taking them and flipping it. And
now they're just throwing out artists.
Yeah, because, you know, they know the truth. You know, for you to go to a label and say, give me a loan to do something that takes nothing, you can turn on your computer and make your album if you study a little bit.
Right. So I like the way you said it. A loan, not a budget.
It's a loan.
Definitely a loan.
Give me a loan.
He did this real talk.
It's real.
That's real talk right there.
That's real business, because this is why conscious artists don't exist in the industry. Not because somebody doesn't like what you're saying. It's because you don't understand the business. You understand me? So when you groom yourself in the business in order to understand, where do I market myself? A 3-minute spoken word joint with no hook is not going to sell like Lil Wayne wilding and selling a Pitbull drink or whatever, because he don't care about it like you do. You know what I'm saying? This industry is not built for people to care about what you throw out. You know, it's built to hypnotize people to buy something.
So what would you say about the quote-unquote underground or the backpack world, which a lot of artists make great records, but it doesn't really transcend?
They don't want to transcend, brother.
You're not hearing what he's saying, brother. It's a conspiracy.
Well,
you have to understand where he's coming from, brother. It's right in front of your face.
I believe it, but I want to see some of these cats, you know,
bro. They don't want to.
Stage.
They don't want to listen to the quality of music. You still sampling in 2015. You don't want to make it, homie. Straight up.
What?
You don't want to make it. You know what I'm saying? If you're going out and it's still the backpacker mentality, when you go out, you make good music. Period. You don't go and say, yo, I'm underground and I'm just representing. What kind of rules are you representing? There are no rules and laws in this thing. That's all, you know, some self-technology thing that people put on themselves. Like, you feel like, if I sell 50,000 records, the label's gonna call me tomorrow and write me a check. That's some illusion that they set for themselves, and it never happens. So everybody gets together in a huddle and says, man, the labels don't like us, the underground, woo, woo, woo. That's a silly outlaw. A real outlaw says, let me get 20 of these artists and we're going to put our money together and build a Def Jam.
No, okay.
Now we're talking something different.
Right.
Now you see everybody with the Def Jam jacket on representing, and you start boycotting the foolishness. Get you 5 radio. I mean, when Jay-Z and them come, they went and locked down radio stations. They locked down New York's radio stations, and they controlled it. And then when people say what's hot, they had to go to them to get it. Feel me? So you got to do the same thing. Why can't 20 people, conscious or not, get together and say, man, we building our own brand and we gonna claim some airtime at these stations? You know, that's straight money, like my man say. It's about that paper. You gotta get it.
Yeah.
You can't be organic and, oh yes, I'm gonna get up and just eat bird seeds and whatever.
No, I mean, this is real, and that's why I told you, Doug, I added that extra chapter in my book about revamping the money mindset. Yeah, we have to understand our foundation as artists, service people, what do we do? But at the same time, we're still in a business. You know, I was at my event on Wednesday. I had a brother come up to me and ask me, could I give him something for free? I have my book, I have my CD, I have my T-shirts. He wanted it for free.
Yeah, word.
And I'm like, I had to gently tell him, but in a professional way, no. You know, because you're looking at me as a young lady at my booth selling, you know, my stuff. And he's like, oh, just let me just get on one free. You know, I want to give it to my wife. It's a good message. I'm a ray of light. I want to get this T-shirt out. And then, you know, 20 minutes later, he came back with this money to pay for it. But he tried me.
But yeah,
but it's a business.
That's the problem with the black market. We're not honorable to each other.
Now y'all make me feel bad. Because every Monday I look over at O and I be like, can she just give me something I really say that. You know what I'm saying? And I got the utmost respect for it.
I can tell.
I can tell you do, right?
You know what I'm saying?
But it's business. I just feel like, not compromise the integrity, and I feel that you're on the same page with that. But at the same time, this is business. We got to eat. We got to feed our families. We got to pay rent. So we have to figure out what is it that I'm doing so that I can make this money. I am human, and I have to pay to live, and pay my bills. But then also, how do we keep the integrity now? Because that is something where included myself. I've had promoters and people tell me what kind of music that I should be doing, the way that I look, and how much more money I could be making in comparison to the message that I'm putting out now.
You have to decide your market and stay in that lane. If you say you only serving cultural people, don't watch Rihanna and get a brand new idea tomorrow when you watch the video show. You feel me? You're a beautiful sister, but you have to note that you got to get your hands dirty and dig out your path. Period. Because it's not created. If you're singing about anything positive right now, that path is not created. You have to get up every day and get that shovel and continue to dig that. Period.
See, and I'm grounded with mine, and I love mine because I understand my foundation and my purpose. So what do you say to young boys and girls? You know what I'm saying? Because, obviously with females, they're coming with a certain, understanding. They have to, we've talked about this, Aha, on the show before, about really putting that sex out, really showing their body. You know what I mean?
If you want MTV, yeah. If you don't care about that, no.
Yeah, why don't you try it and just see where it take you?
It can't hurt.
I'm good. I'm good.
Started a video production company too, so I'll shoot
be a little better though.
That's all right, Doug. The next video I'm coming out with is going to be a little bit sexier.
Okay, that way, make sure I'm there. Anybody want to go to the video?
I'm with you, brother.
I better be in this video.
No, but it's not a problem. I think sexuality, bodies, and all that stuff is beautiful. It's how you emit that and what you're putting with that and what your belief system is and how you're using that.
Sex, but not porn. There's a difference between the Kama Sutra and the Hustler magazine.
Well,
come on.
Yeah, recently.
Back to you on the 20 people that you should put together to make a new label.
Yes, sir.
Should you have somebody rich, or should you have a dynamite artist on the label? On that 20 brothers.
Very good question, brother. One thing, all 20 people can't rap.
Okay.
That's the number one thing.
That's powerful.
Because if everybody want to do the same thing, it's not going to move forward. You need your art director. You need your general manager. Who's good with the money?
Okay.
You got your accounting skills. Not just that you can count money. You got to have skills. We have to start investing in the people that have earned their credentials. And that's what you're finding in your 20 people to start your brand. When you think about the old labels, there's a lot of little cubicles in there. When you're independent, you're responsible for each one.
Oh, talk about it. Talk about it.
Because everybody's out there listening to them 20 brothers. They're like, you get 20 rappers like, we ought to get together, and start, and they ain't got no accountant, nobody handling the money, no manager.
Who's doing promotion? Who's doing...
Everybody want to rap, and that's all they talk about.
Exactly.
Every meeting is 20 brothers talking about rapping.
You can get 20 hustlers in a room together. You see what it is because the music industry is that right now.
Right.
Well, you got something in this room right here, right now. You're trying to put it together with this radio station.
So, speaking of all of this hip hop, man, I couldn't have you come to the show without asking you to give us a freestyle, brother. Ooh, come on! I gotta see Brother Jay on the mic.
I pull out the phone to get a little footage for my Instagram.
So I'm gonna pull up a DJ Quest Coast beat, and I'm gonna just let you rock. All right?
All right. Let me see what it is.
Let's see.
Yeah, you can't just give him anything. Now he gotta approve it. Now this should have been pre-approved before he started.
Pre-approved it.
Yeah. You trying to get your song?
I'm trying to put myself on the spot just as well as I'm gonna put him on the spot.
I hope you got about 2 or 3 of them in case he don't like one.
If that's the case, just tell me what I can say. Can I just say, huh?
No. Motown days is over, bro.
He don't want you to mess up. He don't want you to mess the flow up.
We don't need no background vocals.
Everybody got their phones out.
Here we go.
Can I just stand in the background like I'm tough?
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what you can do that.
All you told you exactly
B-boy stand.
Like that.
All right, here we go. Without further ado, it's the Be Life Driven Radio Show, and we got Brother Jay from the X Clan in the house, Grand Verbalizing Funky Lesson. Brother Jay, here we go. I'm gonna drop a DJ Quest Coast beat on it.
All right.
Can we get a little headphones? Oh, and the headphones. All right, let me get back.
We ain't got it. I thought we had it.
I'm going back and forth.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do what we got to do.
Let's do a split screen so we can get it. everybody in there.
Yeah, do it.
You got it up? I'm playing.
What's going on?
Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go.
Let you know if he approves.
Yeah, just let me go acapella, my lord. I can't hear too much in this earphone.
Yeah, it is kind of low. These headphones suck. Let's do it.
Check, check. I'm dispelling these Yakubians with rhyme verse. My spellbooks rack tell hot boys to think first and disperse. My appetite for ignorance is heavy word bond. It's like Kirk and Khan. Positron separate me with or without the wand. Firm on my square, be checking these Nimrods. Leapfrog surprise. Every time I pick a pin up, I channel by being wise. MCs channel stupid and wondering why they blind. Refine 9 senses, my wings touch the skies. Altitude pimping, you're flickering at the eyes. Rockabye, baby, bro, J-I-B-I to the S. Makes sense when you're spiritually enterprised. Fried at the mind, painting the picture of genocide designs. Clones meet your maker. Strip off that makeup. Paintings on the wall, true school, not the fakers build on.
Hey, yeah, that was tight, man. That was right on the spot, man. He just came right on with his thing. Now, y'all, somebody post that. Post that. That's what you should have ended. Post that.
Post that.
We've been doing that early in the show.
Yeah.
Shit, with all this other stuff we've been doing.
No, we gotta save some of it.
And who invited?
Give it all away.
And who invited Naked anyway?
Oh my
Hey, well, we needed Naked. We needed Naked. I mean, I know you thought it was gonna be a bunch of strippers, but we need age awareness. We gotta invite that.
We gotta have some awareness for health.
Hey,
trying
to
make
sure you're stripping. May I say something on that note?
Please do.
Yeah. For people that do participate with the testing and stuff like that, you gotta research on healing a little further. You know what I'm saying? Don't depend on this chemical thing to cure you. There's no overnight cure for genocide. You know what I'm saying? This is a genocide disease that's happening. If someone's telling you that your immune system is going to be challenged by something, flush your body and reset.
There you go.
Bottom line. Anytime you go to any kind of Dr. Sebi or anybody else that's curing organically, the first thing they will tell you is to flush out completely.
That is correct.
Every organ.
Stop all the toxins and flush
real.
out completely.
You have the power to do that. You can go to a basic store to get things from the earth. You don't have to buy no super tonics or anything to learn how to flush your body.
You could go to Simply Wholesome.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
And get what you need.
Come on.
That's where it starts there. Clean the body of all of the toxins and the foolishness and then deal with what the issue is. And that way,
or you can get
fear.
Your say it, Quest. I'm tight-tonguing right now.
Optimal nutrition. Optimal.
Yes.
You want optimal nutrition. That's what you need in your body. You gotta have it. You gotta have it.
Yes.
So flush your body out and get you some optimal nutrition. We're gonna get into a record off of the Underground Skulls mixtape, though.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Skulls mixtape, and you got Medusa on the record.
Oh, that's my
girl. Yeah, without a doubt. Lamert Park, stand up. No question. Song's called Keys to Your City. Brother Jay of the X-Clan, Medusa. Check it out right here, Be Life Driven Radio Show, y'all.
We doing it today.
Lights, camera, action, it's time to get busy. I'm jiggling, baby, I got the keys to your city, let's ride.
I represent that real hip-hop.
Yes.
I represent that real hip-hop.
From Brooklyn to LA, Midwest to the dirty, I'm gatekeeper Jiggy, got the keys to your city, let's ride.
I represent that real hip-hop.
Yes.
I represent that real hip-hop.
What it is, what it be like. Brother man, bang on doors till I get it right. Rhythmic witness, I serve it to the nightlife. Keys to lock, the marksman salute when I pull up to dock. I'm like 7-Up cake from the soul food spot. The sweet science, I represent that real hip-hop. Black watch, specialized, Shadow King, no props. I'm the gardener, I nourish a holistic crops. Automatic padlock, no kudos needed. Conscious power, I bottled it, apply as needed. Put the thread through the needle, sew it up for my peoples. God no higher, mortals no equal. Sequel to my history, prodigy prequel. Ponderosa Temple, life symbol on the steeple. King Kong stand, show I'm skyscraper pretty. Everyday birthday, son, I'm feeling like 50. Get with me.
I represent that real hip-hop. I represent that real hip-hop.
Lights, camera, action, it's time to get busy. I'm jiggling, baby, I got the keys to your city, let's ride.
I represent that real hip-hop.
Yeah.
I represent that real hip-hop.
From Brooklyn to LA, Midwest to the dirty. I'm gatekeeper Jiggy, got the keys to your city. Let's ride.
I represent that real hip hop.
Yeah.
I represent that real hip hop. I bang with integrity, bang with the essence, bang for this hip hop, bang with the excellence. God said, let there be spit. You know the gangster God is gonna represent it. Till they arms outstretched like white Jesus. I hit them hard till mom's out of breath. You spit flame, I'm the light that jumpstarts the heart and motivates the game. Shift your shell, got me serving them well with no Glock. Call me female Tupac, minus the loose bang. More the new game, minus the lust for the fame. A real go-getter. Some of these half-ass underground rhymers need an underground sweater. So I'm here, have no fear. The underground queen is here, check me. I represent that real hip-hop. I represent that real hip-hop.
Lights, camera, action, it's time to get busy. I'm jiggling, baby, I got the keys to your city. Let's ride.
I represent that real hip-hop.
Yeah.
I represent that real hip-hop.
From Brooklyn to LA, Midwest to the dirty. I'm gatekeeper Jiggy, got the keys to your city. Let's I'm a ride. microphone vet, more class than I'm gritty. President and client of the Giddy Committee. RBG, evolution, culturally jiggy. Parliament and guards round the world like I'm Diddy. Think tank the future, bringing the now with me. Museum pit stop, my luggage is now history. Painting on the walls of the culture you fancy. Mainstream bum rush, I was feeling kinda antsy. Waiting for the time to stroke. Waiting for these hogs to misjudge, I give them time to choke on the history of signature quotes. Don't you know that I'm a hustler? I write my own signature dope. Intelligence, sorta like a conscious load. Come on, clean up the game with the soap on the rope till the wheels fall off. I'm Steve McQueen shifting, nothing but the best, nothing but the upliftment. Lights, camera, action, it's time to get busy. I'm jiggling, baby, I got the keys to your city. Let's ride.
I represent that real hip hop.
Yeah.
I represent that real hip hop.
From Brooklyn to LA, Midwest to the dirty. I'm gatekeeper Jiggy, got the keys to your city. Let's ride.
I represent that real hip hop.
Yeah.
I represent that real hip hop.
Quick question.
Yes, indeed. We're back.
Yes,
that was Brother
indeed.
Jay, Keys to Your City featuring Medusa. We want to thank the brother for stopping through.
Yes.
Gave us some great insight, gave us some freestyle, gave us what we needed, man. The Cultural Day, the Cultural Festival, 2015, Saturday, February 28th at Simply Wholesome, 4508 West Lawson Avenue, City of Los Angeles. You better ask somebody. For more info, hit up info@indigenousrhythms.com. Go to indigenousrhythms.com. And the lineup is X-Clan.
Indigenous, man,
you don't know how to spell indigenous, brother?
I'm saying everybody can't spell it.
I'm just saying, if you don't know how to spell indigenous,
I
get
know
you
how
a
to spell it.
dictionary,
I know
my
how to
brother.
spell it, but,
you know, nah. But X-Clan, DJ Battle Cat, Mad Lion, Sir Jinx, DJ Mark Love, Medusa, DJ Quest Coast,
whoa,
MC Supernatural, General Ja Mikey, and DJ FX. JFX, it's going down. Oh, it's gonna be a full day of entertainment, and you better bring your kids, bring your family, bring your friends. We in the neighborhood. Come get you a patty, come get you a shake.
I'm coming out just to see DJ West Coast Quest.
Quest Coast, baby. You better know it. So look, without further ado, I wanted to bring on a friend of mine. She's such a beautiful woman. She's a Caribbean woman, and she has a one-woman show
with a great smile.
The smile is.
And she's drunk.
She's drunk. She can't.
She tripped in the dough today.
Well, first of all, no one let me know that the step was higher than the average ground, so I didn't even see it coming in.
I didn't even see it coming in, huh?
I don't drink, so you know. How about this? I'm drunk off of happiness. How about
drunk off of happiness?
Ooh, she got a little Jamaica thing going on.
No.
It's not a Jamaican thing, that.
Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands.
They're very sensitive about that now. You got to get
now. Don't mess up. Don't mess up.
My wife's from the Caribbean. They want you to make sure you can represent the right Caribbean.
Come on, then you just can't be saying Jamaica because you know that's just like seeing somebody speak Spanish and call them Mexican. Man, you're wrong, brother.
Hey, she's dark skinned. I thought she was African American, but that don't even come in.
Oh, just stop now.
Really
Just
messing
stop
up.
now.
Hey,
we gotta get a brother. Some classes.
Some geographical.
Give me some classes, but let them white folks look at you. You get over there in the line with the Negro.
You be a nigga. You be a nigga, huh?
Yeah, well,
so look. A vintage night in Hollywood, a dose with Tabitha and Aubrey.
She's gorgeous.
Tell us about this. Tell us about this one-woman show. I want to know. I mean, I saw like a little video you sent me, and I was like, damn, she got moves and everything.
Right?
Come on, get it.
Okay, so I'm a storyteller, and the book that I released last year, The Love Circle: Secrets in Paradise, is a tale based on my life from the Virgin Islands all the way to the United States and what happens in that. My manager told me, she's like, okay, I need for you to do a show each month to let LA know that you're here.
Okay.
I said, you know what? That'd be really cool. But I couldn't see myself being on the stage by myself with the massive amount of talent that's here in LA. So I said, you know, how about we put a show together that encompasses the artists, those that are working, and those that are really good at what they do, to showcase and give them a platform that's going to show them the best light possible.
Okay.
So we created this new show, the Variety Show. It's a clean show, so you can bring everybody to the show and enjoy an electrifying night. The band that we have, One Love, featuring Yakira, is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh my goodness. We have Victor Orlando on there. Percussionist. You know, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We know Vic, he's a legend. Come on.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
You said your manager told you to create the show to let people know you're here.
Right.
So why you charging?
Why
you gotta pay to know you here?
Here we go.
Damn, Skippy, you gotta pay.
We gotta pay to know. She want us to know.
Let's go back to earlier when we talked about the business.
Okay. Right. The business.
And this man himself had to let us know his worth and his account.
Right.
That's all that information.
No. We didn't need to know all that, right? We didn't need to know all that.
But it's part of what we need to do in order for us to be able to get our community together to support what it is we're here on this air to do. Okay? And we can't do that unless there's revenue flowing into the neighborhoods in and out.
Right,
okay?
right.
So
I believe you.
So this thing is, and plus the talent that's on this show, the ticket price on this should be way more. And I'm saying that.
How much are the tickets?
The ticket price right now, the early bird ticket price is $20, and that's going to end this Saturday. So we want everybody to get on Eventbrite.com and get your ticket as soon as possible.
This 400.
Vintage Hollywood.
Yeah, this is
the
the
same
old,
place.
A Mixed Nuts.
No, that's the same place where Spencer is having his event
on
Look
Saturday.
Here.
Same spot.
Vintage Hollywood.
But this is
okay.
the old. This used to be Mixed Nuts Comedy Club. I know this address.
Yeah.
This used to be Mixed Nuts Comedy Club.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Right off of Crenshaw, right?
Right off
Yes.
Crenshaw. Yeah, right by the Jack in the Box.
But you guys, he renovated it to fit the 40s and 50s.
Oh, really?
It is just gorgeous in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
So
I've seen
that's
this
where we got the
again.
theme from, a vintage night in Hollywood. So we're asking
Night in
everyone to
Hollywood.
come out.
See, because you kept saying a vintage night in Hollywood, I was thinking we're going to go to Hollywood, but we really in the hood. So this is cool. I like that.
Well, I
like
just
that.
want to know one thing. Is it still across the street from the tire shop?
Now, I don't know if the tire shop's still there, but the swap meet
That's
is.
where it used to be.
There's a Bank of
I don't know.
America.
Yeah, Bank of America's right there.
Right.
Yeah, it's,
See, y'all keep saying that stuff that's around the corner. If you need a used tire and you want a tire for $10, $15, then there's a used tire place right there.
Do you own the tire shop, my brother?
Well, see, people can recognize it if they go into
That's
the tire
how you got
shop.
that $600,000 in your bank, huh? Okay, I got you.
You have a beautiful.
I'm getting ready to get with her now because she's making money.
You
She's
got a
making
beautiful
bank.
voice because you know she sounds like the female version of the dude that died that used to do the cola commercial. You know.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm
Cola
talking
Man,
about?
the Cola Man.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I think he's from.
Do you do voiceover work?
I do not do voiceover work.
But we need that.
That's coming.
We need that.
Trust and believe that's coming.
You got a great voice now.
Thank you very much.
Voices
I appreciate you.
powerful.
She can do a new version of that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I love that.
Yeah, you
know
can.
what? I would take that idea.
Yes.
I'm
I'm gonna call my folks over at Coca-Cola. I'm gonna call my folks over at Coca-Cola and have them hook you up. You know
Let's
what I'm
do
saying?
it.
Yeah, what the hell?
Right?
Now we gotta put you through the meat grinder. Whenever we have a guest on, especially a female guest, we always throw questions at them. And you know we do some questions to see how open you are.
Absolutely,
you know.
absolutely.
So last week we had we posed Oya with a question that you know she answered to the best of her ability. I feel like she was kind of on the fence about it, but according to her, she needed some more information to answer it accurately. In other words, she kind of just took the easy way out. So we want to put this on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
To see what would you do. Now, question is, if a man used to be a homosexual, if he was gay, but he came into the light of God, found Jesus, and turned his life around and decided that he would only be with women out of his religious conviction, Would you give this man an opportunity? Would you date this man? Would you wipe the slate clean as Jesus has done when he forgives and move forward with this man?
Okay, first of all, I have to have interest in him too.
Well, I'm saying if you met the guy,
if there's mutual interest,
I'm saying if you were interested in him and you didn't know his past,
right?
And he came out and told you his past. Now this is after you've already met him, before you've had sex with him, but somebody that you said, oh, you know what? I think you've gone out on a date with him. Yeah, you're out on a date with him. Would you move forward at that point, or would you have reservations?
You know, honestly, at that, if it comes out after our date,
after the date.
Okay, it's after. You've already put yourself in a position to have me to question you. For me, I'm upfront, very upfront and blunt. I like for everything to be laid out on the table from day one. I ask questions that people are like, what the heck were you asking a question on the first date? Right. I said, why not?
Right.
I said, if we're ready to go on a journey together, let's share our story now, so we'll know what it is we're getting into.
So if he shared his story up front with you,
if he shared it with me up front, my goodness, my heart flutters whenever anyone has the courage to share something from their past or their present that others would be shameful of. That says so much to me about a person and their character.
Wow.
So I would, my heart would flutter for that. It would flutter.
You go out with?
Now see, that's the answer we were looking for from you. We were looking for.
You looking for an answer? If I can't get an answer, my brother.
Come on, I'm messing with you, baby. Come on,
That's a good answer. I just got one other thing to say.
Sure.
You know I like messing.
I mean, your voice is so lovely. In the midnight hours of the night, do you have those same like sounds?
Well, this would be blunt by what you're talking about. He's
hold on a second.
If somebody making love to
check
you,
this
you
note.
don't sound the same.
Hey,
be blunt with what we're saying.
Thank you. I was just about to say what it is you're saying. That's what you're talking about?
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so first of all, that type of question would be for someone who is intimately involved with me. They would know that. For everyone else who is not, it's not their business.
She just checked you.
Hey,
she just checked you in an intelligent way. I mean, that's a very good way of
right?
I'm
Chris, you just been read. You just been read.
Thank you.
Hello.
She checked you on.
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
I mean, sometimes
everybody has to have their private
withdrawals
space
from the
there,
Viagra
Chris.
over the weekend.
Oh, you like that? Oh, you like that? She's smiling
Very
over there,
much.
putting you in your place.
Yes.
She's lovely.
All right, I got another question for you.
I just want to know.
I want to ask some questions. You ask me.
Sometimes you got to know.
I feel like let's see if I can get her to tap out.
Okay, here we go.
I can go deep with these questions.
She good so far. I think she's good.
Do you feel
my money's on her?
How do you feel about a man? Say you're involved in a relationship with a man, and he enjoys watching porno, and he wanted to watch one of the pornos with you because he felt like maybe it would bring an added thing to the sex life. Would you be open to it?
Okay, first of all, let's lay it out right now. I'm a born-again believer. So my man, his heart has to be committed to the Lord.
Okay.
And with that being said,
that's good.
If his focus is on Christ, his desires and his wants will be of Christ. And it won't be to put the person he loves in a position that would be, oh, I devalue who you are. You're not enough for me to get my complete fullness of a man.
What?
So I wouldn't even be with him. I wouldn't even be with him in the first place. I wouldn't even be with him in the first place. You hear me?
Oh, I hear you.
And if I have any other friend of mine that's in a situation like that, and they can't make up their mind of what their value or what their self-worth is, Lord help me if I see that man.
Well, that brings me to my next question.
Okay, because I got a question now. Your man has to be a man of God. So do you have sex before marriage?
Nope.
Oh.
Are you married?
Nope.
Okay.
So you're.
So my next question then would be.
So you're.
Say it.
No, you in the right corner over here because we finna bring it to you.
Say it.
Go ahead.
Do you believe?
Not virgin, but are you celibate?
That's what that would mean.
That's what that
No,
means.
celibate and virgin is two different things.
You're absolutely right.
Well, he's trying to say if you celibate, he'll buy a bit. But look here, I want to know this question right here. I just want to know this right here. I want to know this.
This is definitely the yin yang of the.
No, we got somebody over here. We got somebody over here standing up.
This gorgeous lady is doing this play. Yes, and we want you to go see it because she's lovely.
She answered all the questions. I appreciate that.
Yes.
That deserves a ticket sale right there.
This is the last question. This is my last question.
Okay.
Since you're celibate, do you believe in masturbation?
Do I believe in masturbation?
Mm-hmm.
She better.
Well,
you have a big headache if you don't.
Let's get real.
I think you've been bringing it real since we started.
We're sexually driven beings. I mean, that's part of our makeup.
Naturally.
Okay?
Christian, amen that.
Now, for myself personally, has it been tough? Oh, help me, Father. It's been very, very tough.
I'm glad you can admit
especially with going through the transition into womanhood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even in my 30s yet. Okay? So it's been that transition in the physical. Exactly.
Yeah, I know, because when you said 30, she transitioned.
Oh, wait, rewind. Let me get clarification.
Okay.
So you are a virgin,
right?
So you've never had sex before,
ever.
So this isn't I've had sex and then I'm going back within myself and I'm not having
Not
sex
at all.
anymore.
Not at all.
Until I find the right man.
She said
exactly.
30.
Yeah, I just
Yes,
okay.
we knew the answer at 30.
She said she's not in her 30s.
No, yeah, but she said she's transitioning.
Yeah, so
now.
this is getting a little rougher.
Okay. Most women transition at
Are you serious?
16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
I'm very
21.
serious.
You never had sex before at all?
Never at all in my life.
Are you in the pipe way with a man? I mean, are you on your way, or have you? I mean, because this could be a long ways off.
Well, check this out. The thing is, since a child, I've always been very specific about what it is I want and what it is I am to accomplish in this earth. That being said, I don't lend or any room to distractions. And for me, anyone who doesn't fit the mold of the focus and the goal that I have set in mind and what I feel the Lord has for me to do, I don't have time for it.
But you know that's a natural inclination of a man. You know, I mean, a real man, that if he meets you and he starts going out with you or what have you, you know that's in the back of his mind. And I don't know, I mean, if that's going to throw you off the goal, you're going to be thrown off.
Well, that's fine, and trust and believe it's happened many times.
Yeah, because
I'm sure.
Real man.
So,
she done had to
it's not.
Hey, she done had to go Dutch a whole lot. Like, well, then, no, baby,
So,
you
but
don't
check
have to
this
pay
out.
for your meal. I'm sorry.
Girls,
Horrible.
That's so horrible.
Well, you know, men look at, they have the side of the menu, that's the sex side, and then they have the friend side.
Unbelievable. Because the thing is, for me, I don't do it within the strength of myself because I've been thinking about it.
We know you
I'm
can.
like, hold on.
You can tell
I said this. I said, wait a minute. I said, Father, how long is it I gonna have to go? Because I don't mind taking a break, but then
You keep
it goes
touching
back
me.
to this,
If
no?
you keep touching me, it's gonna be sooner than you
Okay.
think.
So, I mean, with all fairness, you didn't answer the brother's question about masturbation, though.
Well, let's go back to that.
Okay, yeah.
I don't believe that we should. You know, I believe that God created us one man, one woman, and we are to take care of each other's needs in that way.
Yes.
In the process of getting to that point, with us being first selfish beings, it is very difficult to not deal with it and to avoid it.
But,
you know,
but the Bible doesn't say there's anything wrong with it.
where does the Bible say that it's not wrong?
What does it say that it is wrong?
It talks about, it's saying when a man finds a woman for him to cleave to her. What does that mean? It doesn't give any steps of, oh, if we're now having a woman, you should do this to take care of your needs.
But there is no, but it's no clear cut. It's no clear cut indication.
What? It says we are to what? Seek first what?
The kingdom of God.
First.
Yeah, but you can be doing that. But you can. But I beg to differ with you because I can go toe to toe with you in terms of the Bible.
Okay, let's go.
I can go toe to toe with you on that.
Let's talk about the topic in which you just brought up.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's go. But I'm saying, are you saying to me that is considered wrong according to the Bible? Are you saying that masturbation is considered wrong according to the Bible?
I'm saying that it's wrong for us to allow ourselves to become so self-indulgent and self-dependent to where it messes up future relationships.
But how can masturbation mess up a future relationship?
How can it not?
Sex can inspire you.
I just don't see how it can mess up. I don't see how somebody, because everybody in here, let's be real, everybody in here has masturbated. Has it messed up anything?
If it's self gratification that's happening. But see, the thing is, you know what? I think we have to go back to
where we going.
We can't even fully assess or dissect effectively while looking within oneself. We can't. We are not able to do anything of and of ourselves perfectly by within our own strength. It's not possible. So whenever we do fall and we want to bring question to things that we want to say, okay, well, they has to be right because I can't help myself. No, it wasn't intended for us to help ourselves. That's why we had to have a savior. That's why we have to have God.
Oh, I'm in total agreement with you on that, but I just don't.
That is supposed to be our center focus because.
But you can have center focus. I mean, if what you're saying is true, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If what you're saying,
I actually like you now.
Oh my goodness. If what you're saying is true, I mean, then I can't work and praise God. I can't do something else and praise God because you can do other things, and God wants you to do other things. And praise Him and put Him first.
It's because of His grace.
Of course.
It is not because of your works. It is not because of anything that you do.
I agree.
That we have what it is we have.
Have you ever kissed a brother?
We could, of course I have. I love it.
Kiss?
I love it.
Yeah, that could be a form. That's a form of stimulation. That's a form of masturbation.
It's been hard. That's why she said.
But that's a form of masturbation.
How is kissing someone else a form of masturbation?
You have never kissed anybody till you ejaculate. I mean, I've kissed somebody before, especially in high school, and had ejaculation in kissing them. Yeah. So I mean, the kissing led to that. So if you are willing to go that far, I mean, that could be still put in the same category.
I've never been in that position, Chris.
You were kissing the other person. You weren't kissing yourself, though.
Oh,
but the conclusion was the same.
Oh,
and
okay.
Not only was the not only was the conclusion
with another.
But look,
being,
but not only was the conclusion was the same, and the circumstances were the same.
Tabitha, Chris, Oya, this conversation is so good, right? We're gonna have to continue this on next week.
Can we bring you back?
We gotta talk about masturbation next week.
Hey, is any sex in your plate? Is any sex in your plate?
You know what? We are all sexual beings, so I'm sure people are going to have some kind of reaction when they see the beauty that comes on the stage. But I'll tell you this much right now.
Okay.
That's not where the focus of the show is.
What's
the focus of the show is to what?
Let everybody know you're in America.
Bring the best entertainment. That too. But to bring the best entertainment to the stage of LA while supporting our great and talented artists that are here right now. So you guys, please come on out. Check us out on Facebook, The Dose With. Instagram at The Dose With, Twitter, same thing. Vintage Hollywood, it is one of the most best kept secrets in LA.
Yes.
So if you haven't been there, you need to come check it out.
All right.
Eventbrite.com, you can get the tickets there as well.
Hey brothers, everybody out there in Be Life Driven Land, this sister, how old are you? She's like 30. If you're looking for a virgin, come down, see the play, pay $30, and meet this sister. And she's looking for a man.
Bring a ring.
Bring a ring.
I have a question real quick.
Go ahead.
Do you have an issue if a man has explored the world and then he wants to date you, be with you?
When you say explore the world,
she ain't gonna find the virgin,
brother. Already had sex,
yeah,
right?
she ain't gonna find the virgin.
Go ahead and call it what it is now.
The thing is this.
There's people that,
explore the world.
Let's explore the world.
Okay, explore the world and
you might find that brother in church. You might find that brother in church.
Well,
she don't want that brother. Opposite attracts. She don't want that brother. She don't want that brother.
She wants somebody with a little experience.
She wants somebody.
I'm never gonna be able to answer your question.
We definitely want you to answer. Go ahead, Tabitha. I'm sorry.
Are you okay with the man that you're dating have had sex with women before you?
Thank you.
You know, I don't have a problem with that. I will have a problem if there was a family created in the process of that.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to take care of nobody else.
Could you imagine that? 2 virgins over 30 in the bed for the first time? Y'all wouldn't know what to do.
Hey, you know what? Is AC Green still a virgin? You might be able to do with the Jerry Curl for the Lakers. You might be able to get with him. I think he's still a virgin.
AC Green, yeah.
AC Green.
He got money.
He got money. Green is. He used to play for the Lakers. He got money too, so you might
want to hook up with him.
What do we do first?
So hey,
I don't know.
Look. Hey man, this is so great. But Tabitha, tell us how we can get in touch with you and how they could get tickets for the show again.
Okay, you guys. So once again, you can go to Eventbrite.com, or you can check me out on Instagram at Tabitha Christopher, tweet at Fit Storyteller. My goodness, we're on all forms of social media, but the best and fastest way to get your tickets is go to eventbrite.com, put in a vintage night in Hollywood, and we're going to pop right up. And you can get your early bird tickets now because the sale ends on Saturday, guys. So don't wait.
Don't wait. Go see this.
Chris, where can I get in touch with you?
You can find us everywhere. Be Life Driven. Just type Be Life Driven into your search engine, and we'll pop up. And also, let me see. March 2nd, we're taking John Molino to Cedar Sinai to visit the kids. He's gonna come before his fight, visit some kids in the hospital.
It's a beautiful thing.
And then he's gonna go to Vegas on the 7th and knock everybody out.
Also, the biggest news in the world. I don't know how to talk about it earlier, but Floyd Mayweather Jr., Manny Pacquiao, May 2nd, it's going down. Hey, MGM sold out in 15 minutes. Boy,
But MGM was sold out when they announced it in January.
It's true.
It's resold out.
It's just resold out. Doug, where can they get in touch with you?
DougWilliams.net. Are you gonna come back next week?
Oh, y'all serious about
you know
that?
what? I'm not gonna be here next week.
No, none of us gonna be here next week.
Nobody's here next week. So,
but we gotta bring the conversation back. You definitely coming back. The show is March 15th, so maybe we can get her
contact information.
I got her contact information. I'm gonna be on the road with Omarion. We going to Europe. We bringing the sex playlist to Europe.
You're Omarion. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm DJing for Omarion. We just did a show at UCR. Shouts out to everybody at UCR. Came out to the show. Kalani and Yuna performed, opened up for us, and yeah, man, it was a great thing. It's a great thing. Oya, where can they get in touch with you?
SpiritOfWay.com. Don't forget to get your books.
5-star
points for success in the Spirit of Way CD.
I gotta buy one of those from you.
And you know that. And you can
come back next time. I'm gonna buy. How much are they?
$20.
All right,
bring your money. Bring your pocketbook. Bring your pocketbook. You bring your extra little coins. You can find a DJ called Quest on all of the social media. A DJ called Quest, like a Tribe Called Quest, but I'm a DJ called Quest. I spell it QWESS. I'm gonna leave you guys with a little J. Cole. It's called Wet Dreams, and he talked about his first time having.
You don't need to be playing that, and she's sitting here and she's saying she's a Christian and she had never had a wet dream.
And Tabitha come with a whole lot. Tabitha is fine.
Oh my goodness, you better
believe it. Woo!
Be
That's all I
life
gotta
driven, y'all.
say. Woo! Be life driven.
We'll be back. Holla.
Peace.
Wasn't nothing like that, man. It wasn't nothing like that first time. She was in my math class. Long hair, brown skin with the fat ass. Sat beside me, used to laugh, had mad jokes. The teacher always got mad, so we passed notes. It started off so innocent. She had a vibe and a nigga started digging it. I was a young and straight crushing, trying to play this shit cool. But a nigga couldn't wait to get to school. Cause when I seen them thighs on her, and them hips on her, and them lips on her, got me daydreaming, man, what? I'm thinking how she rides on it, if she sits on it, if she licks on it, make it hard for me to stand up. As time goes by, attractions getting deeper. Wet dreaming, thinking that I'm smashing, but I'm sleeping. I want it bad, and I ain't never been obsessed before. She wrote a note that said, you ever had sex before? Damn. And I ain't never did this before, no. 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 I ain't never did this before, no. And I ain't never did this before, no. And I ain't never did this. I wrote back and said, of course I had sex before, knowing I was frontin'. I said I'm like a pro, baby, knowing I was stuntin'. But if I told the truth, I knew that I'd get played out, son. Hadn't been in pussy since the day I came out one, but she don't know that, so she done wrote back and told me, oh, you a pro, homie? Well, I want you to show me. My mama gone for the weekend, so Saturday, baby, we can get the freakin'. That's when my heart start racing and my body starts sweating, baby, you done woke my little man up. I'm thinking how that body look naked when you laying on the bed. Teacher, please don't make me stand up. I wrote back like